All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Let the record reflect that this meeting was posted as required by the Texas Open Meetings Act. And the first item is we're going to, for the record that we established, we have a full house tonight, so we have a quorum. And the next item is I'm going to ask everyone if they would take a moment to reflect on a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you very much. And next, I'm going to ask Mr. Strubhart to introduce our Pledge of Allegiance individual tonight.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight's pledge will be led by John Upel. Mr. Upel is an 8th grade student at Gutierrez Middle School. He is an active member of the National Junior Honor Society, plays the tuba for the Gutierrez Band, and plays the bass guitar for the jazz band. He is an active member of the tennis team and the Gutierrez robotics team, also known as the Robo-Jags, where his team placed second in the qualifier rounds and 5th at regionals this year. His favorite subject is science, specifically biology, with a strong interest in abiotic and biotic functions. John plans to attend either Harvard or Ohio State to pursue a career in aerospace engineering. Joining him tonight are his parents, Mr. and Miss John Upel. Ladies and gentlemen, John William Upel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, John. I also want to comment that the other night we had the privilege of being at the Gutierrez Top 10% Awards Night, and John was also one of the top 10 students in his class, so congratulations. The next item on the agenda is awards and recognitions, and the first one is recognition of PTSA Students of the Month for March.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight, HCISD would like to recognize our March City Council PTA Students of the Month from Harlingen High School, Harlingen High School South, and Early College High School.
My name is Kennedy Daniel. I'm a junior at Harlingen High School. I am in cheerleading. I've been in varsity cheer since last year, and next year I'm going to be the captain of the varsity squad. I'm in the science club. I'm the vice president. I'm also in the Spanish club. I'm the historian, and I'm also in the yearbook staff.
My name is John Skeef. I'm a junior at Harlingen High School. Inside school and outside school, I'm an FFA. I'm in varsity tennis, and I'm a part of the National Honor Society, and also in PTSA.
I've learned a lot of important lessons through the various organizations I'm in. One main lesson is like time management and how to control my time and like make sure I get everything done, like priorities, like homework, but also being involved in all these things, like you have to be really organized.
A lot of troubleshooting in FFA. We build projects, we learn how to troubleshoot stuff. I learned how to help people a lot and just to be a better leader overall.
There's a lot of things I'm passionate about, I think. I'm really passionate in like bringing joy. I guess you could say like I love cheerleading because I love like bringing a smile to people's faces, and I also really enjoy studying and I love academics, and I really like excelling and doing my best in whatever I'm doing.
I'm really passionate about agriculture. I plan to farm when I get older, so anything having to do with ag, crop science, horticulture, that's me.
I'm hoping to attend Brigham Young University in Provo, and I want to major in humanities.
I plan to attend Texas A&M. I'd like to major in business or finance, also to have something to do with agriculture.
My name is Caitlin Resendiz. I'm a senior at Harlingen High School South. I'm in PTSA, Student Council, NTHS. I'm a senior class officer, Lower Valley Cotillion Club, and I'm on the varsity tennis team.
My name is Allison Carroll. I go to Harlingen South High School and I'm a senior. I'm in PTSA, NTHS, Lower Valley Cotillion Club, USTA, tennis, dance, and FCA, and I'm also in Mr. Conway's birding group.
I've learned a lot about time management and to prioritize, and I know that I can carry that on with me in the future.
Well, I've learned to be a team player and also how to manage my time well, because oftentimes they're scheduled during the same time and I have to work around that.
I would say I'm passionate about helping others, and that's why I chose to pursue a career in the medical field, because I know it has a lot to do with helping others and interacting with other people.
I guess I'm passionate about making a difference, and I want to be a physical therapist so I can help others, and I also like socializing with people so I can talk to the people that I work with.
I'm planning on attending the University of Texas San Antonio, and I'm going to major in biology and pursue a career in the medical field.
I plan on attending Texas A&M Kingsville and pursuing a degree in physical therapy.
I'm Moises Vargas. I go to Early College High School. I'm in 12th grade. Inside of school, I'm in student council. I'm an honorary member. I'm the secretary for the senior class cabinet. I'm FBLA secretary and action team president. Outside of school, I'm a Sunday school teacher and I'm part of the RGB mentorship. They've really taught me a lot of leadership qualities. I've learned that to be a leader, you really have to be, have good communication skills to communicate with those that you need to talk to. I'm passionate about giving back to the community. When I grow up, I plan to be a counselor. So I really want to help, the students of HISD. I plan to stay with the district. So I'm really passionate about helping other people. After graduation, I plan on attending the University of over here at Kingsville. And I plan on majoring in interdisciplinary studies to get my bachelor's in education and get some experience for a few years and then go back for my master's in guidance to be a counselor.
At this time, I'd like to have all of the students that were presented tonight, please stand and be recognized. I'd also like their parents to stand as well. Mr. President, can we have y'all come forward for a group photo? Students, can y'all come forward for a group photo with the board members, please?
Right there, that's it. Here we go. Ready? On the count of three. And, yeah, right there. I'll move. Okay, right there. Now I got it. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3.
We have parent photos of
Okay, thank you very much. And our next item is the recognition of HHS South Future Business Leaders of America, students who qualified for the National Leadership Conference in Chicago, Illinois on June 28th through July 2nd.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Gavassos, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent staff. My name is Marcos Almanza. This is Amanda Banda. We are the sponsors of the Harlingen South Future Business Leaders of America chapter. FBLA PBL is the largest business career student organization in the world. The high school division has 215,000 members nationwide, while the post-secondary division reaches over 11,000 college students. The FBLA middle school level has over 20,000 student members, and the professional division has 3,000 registered members with over 11,000 advisors.
The Harlingen South FBLA chapter has 47 registered members. Our chapter competed in area competition and advanced 35 members to state competition recently in San Antonio. Our members competed with over 1,600 high school students across the state. We currently have 5 members who advanced to national competition and 2 members that are currently alternates. We would like to show you a short video about FBLA Nationals.
At this time, we'd like to invite Mr. Board President, Dr. Cavazos, if you could come forward to recognize these students. As I read your name. Jacob Fraga. He got first place in Introduction to Parliamentary Procedure.
All right.
Next is John Fraga, his older brother, who got first place in Securities and Investments. Next is Timothy Gomez. Him and Brendan got third place in Sports Entertainment Management. Brendan Martinez, who was Tim's partner, as they received third place in sports entertainment management. Jonathan Rosef, who got fourth place in management decision making. Ruby Tamayo, who is his partner, as they both got fourth place in management decision making. And Cassandra Rubio, who got fifth place in help desk. Now, can we invite the rest of the board members with the group photo, please?
Yeah, they do good.
No, I just.
Not acting out of bed.
Could we have the parents stand up also, please? Any parents? All right. Congratulations, what an honor, and we really appreciate your hard work. And it's kind of interesting because all these students we see at so many different awards functions, and we're really, really proud of you. You really make our district look great. Thank you so much for all you do. The next item on the agenda is recognition of students for placing at the Texas Forensic Association State Meet and qualifying for the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions. Mrs. Conley.
Good evening, Board President, Dr. Cavazos, and Superintendent staff. My name is Megan Conley, and I am one of the coaches for the Harlingen South Speech Drama and Debate team. It is with great pride that I stand before you today to honor these four young men for their outstanding accomplishments at the most competitive academic tournament in the state, the Texas Forensic Association State Meet. Unlike UIL, the Texas Forensic Association encompasses schools from 1A to 6A, both public and private, competing in numerous debate events, oral interpretation, and public speaking. So first, I'd like to recognize and introduce freshman James Gracia and junior and junior Enrique Cantu for placing 6th out of 75 qualifiers in duo interpretation.
Wow.
James Gracia is actually the very first freshman from South to qualify in more than 3 events for the state meet and to final at the state meet. So we're very proud of him. And Enrique Cantu, this is his first year participating and competing in forensics, so we couldn't be more proud. Next, I'd like to introduce Matthew Cannon. He's a junior. Matthew Cannon placed 3rd out of 101 qualifiers in dramatic interpretation. So that's very impressive. And he's actually our team president, and we keep his plate very full. So he not only got a 3rd place plaque, but he qualified in 5 events. So he was very busy at state. Finally, I'd like to introduce Matthew Almaguer. He's a senior this year. Matthew Almaguer is the state champion in poetry interpretation, and this is out of 72 competitors. Matthew finaled his sophomore year, he finaled his junior year, and took home the big trophy his senior year, proving that perseverance really does pay off. So. At this time, I'd like, if Board President and Dr. Cavazos, if you can come down to help us recognize these boys. So first, James Gracia and Enrique Cantu, placing 6th in duo interpretation. Matthew Cannon placing 3rd in dramatic interpretation. And Matthew Almaguer, our poetry state champion. And the rest of the board, if you could please come down for the picture.
Thank you for all of your continued support.
I don't like peanut butter.
Thank you all so much. Every year, I'm just blown away with our speech and debate departments at both high schools now. South, I mean, it's just phenomenal. Mr. Almagar, what an honor, state champion. That's really something. And the other three members, juniors, I believe, is one sophomore. Did I get that right?
One freshman.
One freshman and two juniors. I mean, gosh, guys, next year you've got another shot at the gold, and you brought home the silver this year. So phenomenal. Thanks a lot for all you do. Thank you.
Is it a parent there?
Are there any parents here of these contestants, these winners? Would you please stand up? Okay. All right. Well, again, congratulations. What a great job you all did. Great representation of us, too. Thank you. Okay, the next item is on our agenda is recognition of PTSA reflection essay winners. Mr. Strubhart, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. The 2014-2015 school year marks another great year for Harlingen CISD and the annual District PTA Reflections Program. Here to introduce the students who received the Award of Excellence and who advanced to the state level with Texas PTA is District PTA Reflections Chair, Dr. Sharon Cavazos.
Good evening, President Powers, school board members, Dr. Cavazos, and administrators. Pleasure to be here. A little bit that I'd like to share with you, a brief background about the Reflections Program. This is a nationally sponsored event that our district has supported for many years. The PTA Reflections Program is designed to enhance rather than replace a quality arts education. Each year, Harlingen campuses are invited to host their own reflections competition, and some campuses have hundreds of entries. Students are encouraged to submit original works of art based on an annually selected theme, and this year's theme was "The World Would Be a Better Place If." The top entries from each campus were then forwarded to the Harlingen City District PTA for the next level of competition, and we received hundreds of entries from 20 campuses. The 6 categories available were visual arts, photography, literature, musical composition, film production, and dance choreography. The categories were divided into subgroups of primary, intermediate, middle school, and secondary. Each campus was invited to submit entries to the district by an established deadline, and once the entries were received, blind level judging was conducted by a committee of experienced individuals in their respective category. No PTA officer was part of the judging process. This year we had 83 awardees out of hundreds of submissions, and I am pleased to announce that 17 of these students earned the Award of Excellence at the district level. They were then passed on to the next level, which is state. In fact, today I'm honored to share that we have 3 students who actually placed at the state level that had over 1,000 entries. In addition, of those 1,000 entries, the 3 students that placed at the state level, 1 earned the overall Award of Excellence, which has advanced to national. So 30 students were advanced to national, and 1 of them is ours. I will now begin introducing our recipients, beginning with the primary level, which are grades K through 2. When I call your name, please come to the front and stay up here, and at the end we'll take a group photo. If I may have Dr. Cavazos and Mr. Powers provide the certificate. And then I also have a little slideshow for y'all. So the theme was "The World Would Be a Better Place If," And the first category is primary, grades K through 2. First category is visual arts. Sophia Trevino, will you please come up? Sophia's entry is titled The World Around Us. The world would be a better place if we could all help each other. Sophia's from Bonham Elementary. She's in kinder. She's 5 years of age. She placed a Award of Excellence in Visual Arts. And you can see her artwork. She talks about planting trees and helping the elderly and not littering. Well done, Sophia. The next category is photography. Shelby Belmontes, come on up, Shelby. Shelby is from Bonham Elementary. She is in first grade, is 7 years of age, and the title of her photo is The World Would Be a Better Place If We Enjoyed the Little Things Like Flowers. Really pretty photo. You can see the drops of dew on the flowers. Well done, Shelby. Next is the category of literature. Come on up, Adriana Rodriguez. Oh, she's not here with us. Her category was literature, and she wrote Friendship Makes the World a Better Place. Next is musical composition. Peyton Geigel, come on up. Peyton wrote a song titled Will You Try? She attends Long Elementary. She's in first grade, is 6 years of age. Her musical composition was performed with a violin. She played the violin. And she wrote that you should listen, listen, listen to God, share with others, and be kind to make the world a better place. Well done, Peyton. The next category is intermediate. Intermediate are grades 3 through 5, and it's visual arts. William Kennedy placed, at the national level, and this is his artwork titled Confetti Tank. He wrote, the world would be a better place if tanks shot confetti instead of shells for peace.
Wow, that's really
Isn't that nice? William attended Treasure Hills. He has since moved to Washington, D.C. I talked to him tonight and to his mother, and they asked me to communicate that they are very honored by this award and excited about the national recognition, hopefully, and to let you know that they moved away not by choice, but because they're in the military. So thank you very much. That's what they said. Next category is photography. Nathan Maurer, come on up. Nathan attends Treasure Hills. He's in third grade. He's 8 years of age. He won the Award of Excellence for his photography piece titled Lily in the Water. He said the world would be a better place if we would take care of nature. Well done, Nathan. Our next category is literature. Daylin Gonzalez, come on up, Daylin. Daylin attends Crockett Elementary. She's in fourth grade. She's 10 years of age, and she wrote, the world would be a better place if we would take care of our world. And she talks about how it's important not to pollute. Well done, Daylin. Our next category is dance choreography. Sabrina Todd, come on up. Sabrina's dance piece was titled Try. She attends Rodriguez Elementary. Sabrina is in fifth grade. She's 10 years of age, and she talks in her song about, or her dance about stop trying to be someone that you're not, and the world will be a better place. Well done, Sabrina. We now have musical composition. Pedro Cantu, come on up, Pedro. Pedro attends Wilson Elementary. He's in fifth grade. He's 10 years of age, and he wrote, the world would be a better place if we would stop fighting so that no one would be injured or die. The title of his musical piece is Peace to the World. Well done, Pedro. Next is again William Kennedy. He plays in the category of film production and again has moved to DC. So we congratulate him. We're now at the middle school level, which is grades 6 through 8. And our first category is visual arts. Angelina, come on up. Angelina Ahumada. I hope I say that correctly. Angelina attends Memorial Middle School. She's in 6th grade and is 11 years of age. The title of her collage is We Can Change the World If We Stop Pollution, Be Earth-Friendly, and Stop Wars. Next is Jose Padilla. Jose, come on up. Jose's placed at middle school photography. He attends Memorial Middle School. He's in 6th grade, 11 years of age. And the title of his photo piece is Grandpa's Helper. He said the world would be a better place if everyone helped each other. Well done, Jose. Next is literature with Jacqueline Vargas. Come on up, Jacqueline. Jacqueline attends Memorial Middle School. She's in 6th grade, is 11 years of age. And she said in her literature piece, she wrote that the world would be a better place if we treated others the way we want to be treated. It's a beautiful piece. In fact, she read it at our PTA Reflections meeting. Well done, Jacqueline. The last category at the middle school level is musical composition. Laura McManus, come on up. Laura attends Gutierrez Middle School. She received the Award of Excellence. She's in 8th grade, is 13 years of age, and the title of her piece is X Out. She said the world would be a better place if people would stop doing bad things and start showing their better side. Next is the senior division, grades 9 through 12. Our first category is visual arts. Abel Mesa, come on up, Abel. Abel attends Keys Academy. He is in 11th grade. He is 16 years of age, and the title of his piece is We Can Change the World. He described his art piece, stating that we should not take the miracle of sight for granted. We should enjoy sights like the green jay, so the world can be a better place. Well done, Abel. Next is photography, and we have Josue Buenrostro. I hope I didn't mess that up too much. The title of his art piece is, his photography is The Gang. And he says if everyone would lend a helping hand like we do with special needs kids, the world would be a much better place. He attends South High School, is in 11th grade, and 17 years old. Well done, sir. Next is literature. And Amethyst Marroquin, come on up. She's not here? Unfortunately, she's not with us. Her title of her piece was A Lesson from Childhood, and she earned the Award of Excellence. She is here. Hi. Hi, Amethyst. The title of her literature piece is A Lesson from Childhood. And she wrote that the world would be a better place if people would choose to be optimistic, even in bad situations. Amethyst attends Harlingen High School. She's in 11th grade, is 16 years of age, and she's one of our students who placed at the state level, earning the Award of Merit. Well done. Next is film production. Devin White, come on up. Devin attends South. She's in 12th grade, is 17 years of age, and she said the world would be a better place if we would free the world from pollution so that nature could flourish. And it was a great film piece. Well done, Devin. One last thing, Nathan Mowers. Where are you, Nathan? if you'll step forward, I forgot to mention that Nathan earned honorable mention at State Texas PTA and is one of our 3 state awardees. Congratulations. And this is our group that advanced to the state level. Congratulations. If y'all want to come forward, we'll get a picture. Next year, the theme is Let Your Imagination Fly. So start thinking about what you're going to do. Let your imagination fly. Right. Big smile. Big smile. Right here. Show your teeth. Right here. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't move. The parent will take pictures.
Yeah, take him.
You don't have to invite Greg, he'll automatically say.
Oh, yeah? But notice I'm keeping this one.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a few too many.
At this time, we'd like to see the parents of these fantastic kids. Any parents here tonight? Would you please stand? We know you're as proud of them as we are. And I think Mrs. Fleury would like to make a few comments.
Yes, thank you. I would like to say thank you to all of the students who participated. We are so proud of you. It's exciting, and in fact, I was so excited about it that I asked Dr. Cavazos last month, aren't you coming to the PTA meeting this month? And she said, no, it's 1 more month away. But Dr. Cavazos, thank you. This is a position, a job that you have handled with your heart for a number of years, and we really appreciate your vitality that you bring to this. Students, we want you to know that every year it is so much fun for us to see the different winners in the different categories. My goodness, some of you are painters, you're photographers, you're speakers, you're singers, you're dancers, you're writers. It's wonderful what you're doing, and we really, really are proud of you. You bring such pride to this district, my goodness, all the way to the national level and the state level and here locally. And besides you all, you have so many of your friends and neighbors who participated. How many in all did you say, Dr. Cavazos? In the whole district? Wow. That is just wonderful. That's just great. Well, congratulations, everybody. And I want to thank the City Council also for continuing to sponsor this. As with the Student of the Month Award, if it weren't for the Harlingen City Council PTA, we would not have these awards and these opportunities for the students. So thank you very much. We are so proud of you. We're so proud of you. See you next year.
Okay, all right. The next item on our agenda is to recognize and approve resolution to name Harlingen CISD's representative for the 2015 Media Honor Roll.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. In each community, public schools shape that community by providing the most appropriate and effective education for children that attend those schools. Public schools are dependent on the community's support in countless ways, including support in setting goals for the education of our children, and establishing successful volunteer and booster programs at the schools, for annual funding of operations, in periodic bond elections, and in the election of qualified school board members. Much of the community's knowledge and opinions about public schools rely on responsible reporting by local media representatives who decide which news to share with the community, how much attention will be focused on the various issues, and what the tone of the reporting will be. Every year, the Texas Association of School Boards recognizes media representatives from more than 470 Texas newspapers, radio and television stations, and online publications by naming those individuals to the Media Honor Roll. The Media Honor Roll program recognizes individuals statewide for fair, accurate, and balanced reporting of news about public schools. Tonight, the Board of Trustees of the Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District is putting forward for approval a resolution to name one representative to the statewide Media Honor Roll, calling attention to her ongoing responsible and exemplary nature of reporting on this community's public schools. We express our appreciation for her balanced and accurate approach to sharing with this community both the challenges facing our schools and the successes achieved by our teachers and students. Her work has aided this community in focusing on the goal of providing the best public schools we can for every child who attends them. Trustees, administration, and audience, we are proud to announce our district representative for the 2015 Media Honor Roll, publisher for the Valley Morning Star, Miss Lilia Castillo-Jones. The reporter for that. Yes.
At this time, the chair would entertain a motion, please.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to approve the resolution to name the, we need a motion for this, right? This is the action item, right?
Yes, sir, please.
To name Harlingen as CISD representative for the 2015 Media Honor Roll as presented by Mr. Strubart.
I second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you very, very much. Thanks for all you do for our school district and our kids. We really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Cavazos?
So before Lilia leaves and Travis, as the superintendent of schools, I want to illuminate the fact that there are many neighborhoods and communities that have local newspapers. But it is the Valley Morning Star that continues to look for ways to engage the community. And you see on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays the highlighting of public school systems and our local community college. That does not come without a price tag, but their commitment to advance the work of education in our community and highlight those things that are meaningful and important to families comes with a lot of recognition. And I met Lilia a while back when she first arrived. Her passion to education as a member of the Literacy Center, Travis, his continued work to cover the stories that are important to our families in our community, hands down. You all do a remarkable job, and as the superintendent of schools, I'm proud to call you our media recipient for this year. And thank you so much, Lilia, for the work you do.
You don't have to leave, by the way. We just we may put you to sleep though, but
All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the March 10th, 2015 regular board meeting. Everybody's had time, I know, to look at it, and at this time, the chair would entertain a motion to approve or make any modifications to the minutes.
Mr. President, I make a motion for approval of the March 10th, 2015 regular board meeting.
I second the motion.
Moved by Mr. De Leon, seconded by Dr. Muniz. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, minutes are approved. The next item is our principal's report for the month, and Mr. Mike Reyes with Gutierrez Middle School.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and members of the audience. I thank you for the opportunity to be able to showcase the work of Gutierrez Middle School is doing in bringing a focus to STEM education. In particular, I would like to highlight a newly formed robotics club and the excitement it is bringing to our students at Gutierrez Middle School. With recent developments such as SpaceX coming to the Valley, as well as having the Regional Academic Health Center and having graduates as early as 2021, this club could definitely assist in keeping our students at the front of the line by encouraging our students to take an interest in STEM subject at an early age. Robotics has always been and will continue to be very intriguing to children of all ages and no longer a thing of the future. Robots are currently used in a variety of ways, such as performing jobs that are either too dangerous or too difficult for humans to perform. While some robots are exploring the surface of the moon, others are performing surgeries that are too delicate for a surgeon's hand to handle. This year at GMS, we started a robotics club led by volunteer sponsor Mrs. Veronica Baca, library media specialist, and assistant volunteer sponsor Mr. Edmundo Lopez, Kate teacher. Given the high interest of students in robotics, in combination with the background knowledge of Mrs. Baca and Mr. Lopez, this was an opportunity we could not allow pass us by. Our students have always been fascinated by the building and programming of robots, but this year, this inaugural team called RoboJags, consisting of 6th through 8th grade students, have laid the foundation for future students. The Robotics Club is a fun, engaging, and hands-on approach to computer science and engineering. As a district goal, HCISD aims to graduate students who are college and career ready. This is a fantastic opportunity for our middle school students to be introduced and be involved in STEM careers, especially when they're able to build and program their own robots. While being involved in the Robotics Club is fun and engaging for all students, it also addresses one of the goals of a strategic plan, which is for students to develop their skills in communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Members of the team have different roles and titles such as programmer or engineer. The programmers write codes that allow the robot to push, pull, kick, spin, and perform other maneuvers. The engineers build attachments to the robot, allowing it to perform the code's instruction. While some team members have specific roles and responsibilities, each member is proficient in all areas, integrating their ideas for a common goal. This year, our robotics club has been exposed and participated in a variety of activities. One of those activities was participation in HESTEC, the Hispanic Engineering, Science, and Technology, which is sponsored by the University of Texas at Pan American in Edinburgh. They represented HCISD very well, considering this was their first competition. Our students placed 11 out of 60 groups, and the experience was priceless. Beyond the placement and the competition, our students understood the level of commitment that was required and necessary. They came out more focused and determined to do a better job in their next competition. With the partnership of First League, we were able to host a qualifying meet at Gutierrez Middle School. Schools from around the valley were invited to attend. Our RoboJags received a second place finish, making them eligible to participate at the state competition in San Antonio. We would like to thank the following individuals for their assistance in making GMS and HCISD stand out while hosting a regional qualifier robotics competition. Mrs. Veronica Cortan for her guidance in putting all the details together. Mr. James Piercy and his department for the assistance in prepping the audio and video in our gym. But most importantly, our superintendent, Dr. Art Cavazos, for your support and encouragement you've given us as we continue to create our program. We truly appreciate the time you take to attend a robotics event. We would also like to thank United Launch Alliance for their contribution of $4,000 to the continuation and support in engineering at the middle school level. This made our robotics state meet in San Antonio a reality. Our robotics team placed 5th out of 60 teams competing, but unfortunately only the top 2 teams qualify for nationals. Beyond the experience, our students were exposed to next year's level of competition. Our students are already excited and can't wait for next year. To further enhance our focus on STEM education, Gutierrez partnered with FIRST to bring a Geek Bus to visit students at GMS. The Geek Bus was a high-tech mobile classroom that travels to schools and other locations to teach 21st century skills to students in economically disadvantaged areas. The mission of the Geek Bus is to inspire the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and skilled tech workers by using an industry-aligned tools and curriculum. We also invited private schools, homeschooled parents, and children to come and visit. The Geek Bus was a huge hit. Students were shown how to program and design a robot and how 3D printing functions and the capabilities it may provide. Due to our robotics club, many homeschooled children and students from private schools communicated their interest in attending GMS and being a part of HCISD. Based on the success of Gutierrez Middle School, our district has partnered with the City of Harlingen Parks and Recreation to offer a summer robotics camp to those interested. We will host a robotics camp for students in grades 4 through 8 during the week of August 3rd through the 7th. Our goal is to create an interest throughout the district from the elementary through the high school level. Developing and promoting high-interest activities such as robotics will allow ACISD to continue to be at the forefront of being the place to bring your child for a great educational experience. At this time, I would like to take a moment to share a video from our robotics club students and the experience they have had in their inaugural year.
I'm one of the 2 main programmers on the GMS team, and basically what we do, we have our builders building a base for our robot, and we just program it to get where it needs to be at the time. Then we worry about what the attachments have to do afterwards when the builders have them and we know they can work every time. We just wait until the attachments are done and see where we can put them in to get them to the right spot. It's really stressful for one thing, because you know that any little thing can throw you off and ruin your entire programming. But at the same time, it's also fun, you know, and it feels great when you do something right. If you win one of them for the HESTEC sumo competition, then you feel great that you just got points for the team. But if you lose one, you also feel bad. You think you could have done better. You try to see what went wrong. And that brings a lot of stress. So you have to be really patient and you have to be really collected to where you'd be able to actually go to the competition and have more fun than be stressed out. The main thing it's taught me is patience, because I've now realized that without patience, you're more than likely not gonna get anything done, because everything takes time. There's some things that won't take too much, but if you don't have patience for anything, you're gonna want everything to be done with immediately, and you're not even gonna bother trying after like a week. So without patience, this really could not have been successful.
They called me up here. They thought that I would be a good candidate for the robotics, and I thought it would be kind of boring, but once I started getting into it, it actually seemed pretty fun. And then I got more into it, and it became really fun. It's a really fun experience. You get to choose your role, like robotic programming, building, whichever one you're better at. You could even work on the project if you don't like either of those, but it's really interesting and fun.
When we have months to prepare for a competition, it's just, seeing what we can fix and, getting to do new challenges. But right before a competition, it's just test run after test run. We're just, practicing as if it were the real thing over and over and over again, just so when we actually get to the competition, we know exactly what we need to do. I think one of the most important things we learn is that it's not easy. It's very difficult, but that you need to be focused and determined if you really want to, succeed in the competition. And as for the competition, it has 2 parts. It has the actual robotic competition, where you program your robot to do certain tasks, and then the second part is the project, where you go and prepare a presentation for judges. So the presentations are split into 3 separate presentations. It's the core values, which is pretty much good sportsmanship and how you treat others at the competition. The second part is it's robot design. They judge your robot based on how it was built and what it can actually do. And the third part, you actually have to prepare a project for how to solve a problem. And this year we chose permaculture, on how to build your own permaculture garden, because we felt that a big part of the world is, overweight or obese. And so we decided to teach people how to do that to solve a problem in the world. I believe that this is going to be able to help me in my future job opportunities, because I want to become an engineer. And this is going to give me a big head start for what's to come in the future. You have to want to do this. It's not something you want to be forced to do, because I feel that if you're in this program, it's not because you have to or you want or you need to, but it's because you want to. But if you do be in this program, it's very enjoyable, and if you like working with technology, then you're going to love it no matter what.
At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the robotics team. When I call your name, please stand to be recognized, starting with our sponsors, Mrs. Veronica Baca and Mr. Edmundo Lopez. Please stand. Juan Perez, John Upel, Colton Lopez, Juan Rodriguez, Jerome Trevino, Manuel Ontero, and Gavin Lopez. Board members and Dr. Cavazos, thank you for this great opportunity to be here showcasing this great program. We are very excited about what the future holds for these students and our community. At this time, if you have any comments or questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Well, the comments are, what a fantastic job. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this program is one of the talk of the district. We hear about it all the time, and as you know, Mr. Reyes, I had some people that are putting their children in your school next year and came out for a visit just because of this program. They're just so impressed, and it's just phenomenal what you've done. Ms. Baca and Mr. Lopez, hats off to you guys and the team. Phenomenal work. I mean, the thing that just really, I used this word earlier, but blows me away is this is your first year and you finished 5th out of 60 contestants in the state competition. I mean, that's just incredible. Mrs. Fleury?
Yes, I would just like to say that I had the extraordinary privilege of being in San Antonio and watching this team compete. And this is an excellent video presentation. Thank you for including all of the elements. Students, you did a wonderful job in your interviews. But this team represented their school and their skills and this community exceptionally well in the midst of this packed, it was at the convention center, at the midst of this packed group. Our daughter came running to me and said, "Mom, there's some students here from Harlingen," and I immediately assumed Harlingen High School or South, and she said, "No, no, no, no. It's a school called Gutierrez." And I said, "Oh boy, I've got to go over there and see them." And it was wonderful. It is true that we are truly blessed to have these leaders, because the gentleman has been wanting to do it for years. And this lovely lady who joined us from Sherryland just this year happens to be on the state committee and knows the whole routine. And so it put together a dream with someone who's got a tremendous background. And these children have just soared. They did blow us away. And as they said, this is not just on STEM. This is on humanity as well. And this is on collaboration and world projects. And this takes it to all levels. And I'm extremely proud of this district. I'm particularly proud of this team. Thank you very much. You all were just super.
Mr. McShann?
Thank you, Mr. Powers. I want to say, Mr. Reyes, you did a great job. You took some time to really give us a framework and help us understand what STEM really means. And to the staff, certainly teachers, and to the students, we're very proud of you. When we think about the Rio Grande Valley, obviously health, we have the medical school, and we have the School of Health Professions. We also have SpaceX, and I think we need to begin to take seriously looking at another choice. And I spoke to that really to the Valley Morning Star about when we were three of us being reelected unopposed, and that's something I think Dr. Pettis, you addressed, I think we all talked about this. Giving students and parents choices, and science, engineering, technology, mathematics creates opportunities for young people so that you can really do what you want to do in life. Because there are many people who maybe don't want to do health, but they want to do the engineering piece, the mathematics piece. And we think this is a good opportunity, because you've demonstrated to us tonight that this is successful. And to the students, I want to say to the young man talks about stress, you don't seem to be very stressed out. You're just real calm, you know. But I tell people jokingly, it's great to have stress, but let it be positive stress. You know, positive stress would kill you as well. So when I want to go on positive stress, right? And that's what all this is about. Education is stressful, but if you're liking it, it's good, isn't it? Right? Y'all did a great job, but seriously, it was profound. It resonated, and let this be the beginning. Gutierrez Middle School, we got other middle schools here. I see principals here. Thank you all for being here as well. I think we begin to say this may be the catalyst for what we want to see in the future. And Dr. Cavazos, I think that may be part of our strategic vision. And Mr. Cavazos, it takes resources to get change, right? Sure. And I think you don't want to be one to cause that change not to happen. And I'm confident that you have the skills to come up with whatever's necessary to give us those resources. That's the future we want to see, STEM. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Great job.
Great job. Okay, the next item is public comments. Do we have any tonight? All right. We'll move on to item number 6, and that's approval of the consent calendar. I know everybody's seen all the materials in our packets. Chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. President, Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Now second?
Moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Mr. McShann. Is there any discussion on this, on any of these items? If no discussions, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Next item is matters relating to transformation in school support. Transformation Teaching and Learning Committee report, Dr. Cavazos.
Yes, Mr. President, board members, audience, and senior team, we met on April 7th at 4:30 for a committee meeting of Transforming Teaching and Learning. 2 items were presented, made the paper, actually. We reviewed and discussed the counselor's role in high school redesign and moving more towards a specialist type of scenario at the high schools to align with House Bill 5, and also to bring forth some college advisors that will allow some great work to occur in the seamless transition of students from our high schools to post-secondary schooling. And so that whole area of the high school counselor role is going to be as part of the redesign for next year that will include a college advisor component to help with the transition. The second item we presented, Veronica Corton presented, Perfecting the Art of Instructional Coaching. As part of strategic plan, we're moving our current instructional facilitators at our K through 8 programming towards an instructional coach model, which will allow them to spend more time in assisting and working closely with teachers in the induction program. We've moved from a 1-year mentorship program through a 3-year mentorship program, and also to spend time, that quality time, to help teachers perfect their practice in the classroom. Really excited about these 2 things that are moving for next year, but clearly aligned with our strategic plan. I'll turn it over to our chair, Dr. Nolan Perez, if he would like to add anything. We continue to remain focused on our strategic plan and ensure that we responsibly roll out these big pieces to transform our school district.
No, I just simply want to congratulate you again, Doc, for all the work that you're doing and the design teams that are doing to create the systemic change that this school district needs, and is quickly having a lot of success in that. We have the critical mass here already, and the projects that you bring forward are not just little rinky-dink ideas. These are really ideas designed to embed themselves in the curriculum, embed themselves in the professional development of our teachers and our leaders. Just very impressive. These 2 topics, again, a lot of superintendents would dare not even think about discussing these things with the board, but yet you bring these things forward boldly, and we know that the redesign of the high schools is only going to work if we have these types of professional development in terms of the model, in terms of the teaching and that working together and coaching model that you're going to bring to the classrooms. It's just amazing. And of course the counseling piece is absolutely critical in time that we do that. So obviously we leave the details up to you and your staff and your design team to figure out how we're going to make it work, but we're super excited that we're going to have these specialized counselors that can really help these students in a variety of different ways than kind of what we're doing now. So kudos to you. Again, I get used to more and more visitors from Austin and DC and around the valley. We keep getting school districts that want to come visit the work that you're doing because you really believe in the strategic plan. You have fidelity to that. And again, you're not after, again, these little success stories that to make the newspaper and to make the highlights, but you really are after systemic change. So again, kudos to you and your team, Alicia and Cortan is here somewhere, and all of y'all are just doing amazing work. Really pleased to work with you guys.
And thank you for reminding me. Go ahead.
Yes.
And thank you, Dr. Perez, for that. I do want to recognize, of course, the presenters of the first item, Dr. Joe Rodriguez, who oversees my secondary campuses. He's in the back over there. And Dr. Alicia Noyola, my chief academic officer. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're moving. Next item is matters relating to, matters related to curriculum and instruction. At this time, Mr. Hopkins will give us a presentation on approval of instructional materials, allotment, certification, and local instructional materials committee report.
Board President, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos, I'm seeking approval of the instructional materials allotment certification and the selection of materials from Proclamation 2015. This certification is to ensure that the district is using its instructional materials allotment to obtain materials that cover all essential knowledge and skills for the subject areas listed on the form. The administration has put in place procedures for ensuring the district is using materials that meet the essential knowledge and skills. Also attached is a list of materials from Proclamation 2015 that have been recommended for selection by the district. For background information, the timeline for the selection process included from November 2014 through the end of January 2015, teachers and staff met with publisher representatives and evaluated samples of the materials. On January 26th and 27th, instructional materials hearings were held at Harlingen High School South. Publishers were scheduled for presentations for each subject area. Attendance included teachers from our district and those from neighboring districts. On February 4th, 2015, teachers voted on the materials, and runoff voting was held on February 11th. The Instructional Materials Allotment Committee met on March 24th to review voting results and finalize the selection process for the recommended list.
President, I move approval of instructional materials allotment certification at the local instructional materials committee report.
Second. Moved by Mr. McShann, seconded by Mr. De Leon. Is there any further discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. The next item is the approval of out-of-state trip for students to attend the elementary school championship chess tournament in Nashville, Tennessee on May 7th through the 11th, 2015. Mr. Villanueva.
Good evening and thank you very much. And I appreciate the fact that you were able to hear me, Mr. Board President, Dr. Cavazos, board members, superintendent, staff, parents, students, and committee members. Tonight I am seeking approval for students and staff to travel to 2 separate national tournaments. But before I ask you, I want to provide some information about a competitive chess initiative. With your support, the support of campuses, parents, and volunteers, students and campuses have taken full advantage of the opportunities provided to them to compete in chess. So much, in fact, this school year we established 2 tiers at the elementary level, Tier 1 and Tier 2. And with the hard work of sponsors and coaches, 5 chess tournaments were hosted with well over 1,500 students competing. As you know, everything in Texas is big. Just like the district, the popularity of chess in the region of RGV is growing so much that this region was divided into 2 regions this year. This year, the regional tournament for Cameron County and Willacy County together, the one we had compete in, had close to 1,200 students or players and 170 teams competing. Just like the region, just like the district, the state is also dividing itself into 2, as at least there are discussions about that. This year, the state tournament held in McAllen had over 1,300 players and 300 teams from across the state. HCISD had 120 players and 18 teams competing in the state, and I'm happy to inform you at the elementary level, we had 3 teams qualify under our guidelines to attend a national tournament being held in Nashville. So I'm here tonight to ask you for your approval for the following teams to attend the tournament in Nashville on May 14th through the 17th. And let me give you a little bit of other information. In first place, Sam Houston. In 4th place, Dishman. And in 4th place, a tie was Sam Houston as well. I'd like for them to stand up and be recognized as well. Principals and coaches, please too. Mr. David? I stand here now.
All right. We'll take them one at a time. For the Nashville trip, do I have a motion on the table?
Mr. President, I, with pleasure, move approval of this motion for an out-of-state trip for our students to attend the elementary school championship chess tournament in Nashville, Tennessee.
I second the motion.
Moved by Mrs. Flourier, seconded by Dr. Pettis.
Dr. Mason.
I'm sorry, Dr. Mew, excuse me. I'm sorry. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Carries unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Now, wait a minute.
If I may, I'd be remiss if we didn't recognize parents who are every
Absolutely.
day at every tournament, helping the students and the parents. Parents, would you please stand if you're in the audience too? The second item certainly is for our middle schools, who did just as well at the state tournament, but they're going on to Louisville, Kentucky on April 23rd through the 27th. And those two teams are Coakley and Vela Middle School. Would you please stand? Principals and sponsors, would you please stand? Consultants, would you please stand? Ms. Brandon, would you please stand as well? Couldn't be done without them. Thank you.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Well, I move approval of the out-of-state trip for the middle schools to attend the National Chess Tournament in Louisville, Kentucky. That's right before the Kentucky Derby is when.
First Saturday in May.
I was going to be a chaperone. If that was the case. Oh, okay, all right.
Second the motion.
Okay. It's moved by Mr. McShann, seconded by Dr. Pettis. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Board members, Dr. Cavazos, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you all parents. Did the parents stand up on the last group, the middle school?
No.
Well, I don't think so. Any parents from the middle school here?
Parents?
There we go. All right. It's just incredible what you all accomplished with these kids. I mean, the Sam Houston and the Dishman, I personally followed Dishman last year, and I think that was y'all's first year, wasn't it, to compete, Ms. Davis? And Sam Houston, you've set a record for several years that you keep holding. And just great work on everybody. And special thanks to the volunteers in our community who help coach these kids. I mean, that is wonderful what you do. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions in Lincoln, Nebraska on May 7th through the 10th. Mrs. Conley.
Yes. Good evening, Board President, Dr. Cavazos, and Superintendent staff. I stand before you again this evening to request permission for the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions, that's a mouthful, in Lincoln, Nebraska, May 7th through the 10th. The Tournament of Champions brings together the nation's best and brightest students and teachers in oral interpretation and oratory. In order to qualify, our students had to attend tournaments that offered bids for the Tournament of Champions. This year, we did not travel to as many tournaments that offered bids, but we were still very successful and were able to have qualifiers. The 4 young men that I presented to you earlier this evening also qualified for this prestigious tournament. These students had to have 2 complete bids. They received their bids at the University of Texas Longhorn Classic and at the Texas Forensic Association State Meet. Because it is a national tournament, ultimately it's a great opportunity for them because it's just really great exposure. Some of you may remember John Reynolds, who was offered a full scholarship to Western Kentucky University at this same tournament 4 years ago. So it's a great opportunity for HCISD students to be scouted and recruited on the national level. So at this time, does anyone have any questions
Mr.
or
President?
concerns?
Mr. President, I move approval of the out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South Speech Drama Debate Team to attend the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions in the land of Lincoln. Oh no, that's Illinois. Let's get this right.
That's right. That's
in
right.
Lincoln, Nebraska, in May 7th and 10th, 2015.
Second. Moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Mr. De Leon. Any further discussion? Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, carries unanimously.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
job. Great job.
Great.
The next item is approval of the out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School South Future Business Leaders of America. Students who qualify for the National Leadership Conference in Chicago, Illinois, from June 28th through July 2nd, 2015.
Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, Board of Trustees, at this time, we'd like to ask permission for our FBLA team to attend the national competition in Chicago, Illinois, from June 28th to July 3rd.
Second, sorry.
Do I have a first?
Motion for approval.
Moved by Dr. Pettis, seconded by Mrs. Fleury.
We were eager. Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. And the next item is approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School speech drama debate team to attend the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions in Lincoln, Nebraska. Miss Tasha Neese.
Not to be outdone. But
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, board members, and staff. It's with great honor I'm overjoyed to join you tonight to introduce to you Miss Emily Ornelas, a sophomore at Harlingen High School and a member of our speech drama debate team. Emily, as Ms. Conley has explained, has earned the 2 bids to attend the National Individual Events Tournament of Champions. She earned these bids at the University of Texas Longhorn Classic Tournament, as well as reaching the semifinal round of the Churchill Classic Tournament. So she's done outstanding. She's had some other distinctions at the Columbia Tournament in New York, as well as breaking to outrounds at TFA State this year. So she's been an outstanding member of our team. She also plays a lead role in our theater department, which is led by Miss Liana Hinojosa, who's here with us tonight. And she holds down an evening job at the local Whataburger. If you would like to go order from her, you can see her there. So she keeps her
Discount.
plate full.
Go after this meeting.
As Ms. Conley expressed, attending the National Individual Events Tournament of Champion is one of the most elite competitions a student could qualify for. And not only do you get the opportunity to compete, but you get the opportunity to be scouted and to win scholarship money. And in addition to that, coaches are offered seminars, sessions, and training programs throughout the tournament that we can attend to become better coaches. So it's an all-around wonderful experience in the great land of Lincoln, Nebraska. And with your approval, we would be delighted to continue this tradition at Harlingen High and take Emily to this tournament and continue to make his name for HCIS Day.
Mr. President, I'm convinced, so I'll go ahead and make a approve for a out-of-state trip to the Harlingen High School speech drama debate team to attend the National Individuals Event Tournament of Champions in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Moved by Mr. De Leon.
No, second.
Seconded by Mrs. Young.
Seconded by everybody.
By Cardinal 1. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations to all you've done in such a short time.
Yeah, and Tasha, thanks for the brave move of coming over to the Harlingen High School. Amazing program. Thank you for doing that. Kudos to you in such short time, and of course you've got a lot of big supporter and a proud supporter back there shaking her head. So just amazing. Couldn't be more proud of what y'all done.
Thank
there.
you for believing in us, and when it's right, it works.
Mr. McShane?
I just want to say, Emily, my goodness, and you work at Whataburger. Why you time to do all this? It's amazing. And I want to just say that we're so proud of the leadership. He was a teacher, a coach, and that's really what we ought to be about, in making sure that every student in this district has an opportunity to reach their hopes and dreams, in particular the arts. That's so important. And what you've done, we appreciate that. You're a coach, and I think about the national combines. NFL. You get scouted. Right? Yeah. So you get scouted, right? That's really it is. That's really what it is. It's sort of like that. So we're just very proud. And echoing what Dr. Pettis said, you coming back to Harlingen, know you a little bit, and where you are now. We're just proud of you and proud of all of you, and thank all of you for this. Congratulations.
And Mr. Powers, I want to say, particularly since we have the teacher and this fabulous student here, and the teacher sitting back there somewhere, and Ms. Munifis, we also love your plays. Thank you very, very much. We waited a long time, and we've been enjoying in the last couple of years the wonderful dramatic performances that you have provided. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item is approval of the out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School Business Professionals of American Chapter students to attend the National Leadership Conference in Anaheim, California, May 6th through the 9th.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Alvarez.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, superintendent, staff. It's my privilege to be here tonight to introduce you all to yet another outstanding Kate student of ours from Harlingen High School. To elaborate more on our purpose here tonight is one of our great teachers, Eva Bell.
Good evening, Dr. Cavazos, our board president, and members and board staff. My name is Eva Vela, and I am a Business Professionals of America chapter sponsor, as well as the NTHS sponsor for Harlingen High. I have a little bit of information to share with you. Business Professionals of America is a leading career and technical student organization for students pursuing careers in business management, office administration, information technology, and other related career fields. During the month of March, BPA students traveled to Dallas, Texas, and competed against other high school students throughout the state. Of the 5 individuals who competed, 2 of them received top awards as national qualifiers. Thousands of students from around the country will gather to compete and showcase their business skills in Anaheim, California. The 2015 National Leadership Conference will offer 4 exciting days of competition, leadership development workshops, national officer elections, fantastic tours, and much more. Whether it's through competitions, running for national office, attending the National Leadership Academy, being an intern, receiving an award, or participating in elections, there are ways to qualify for the 2015 National Leadership Conference and experience Anaheim. Experiencing BPA's National Leadership Conference is a culmination of the BPA year, a reward for the hard work put in to competitions, torch awards, and more. This evening we have one of the 2 individuals that are from Harlingen High School and are requesting the board's permission to travel to Anaheim, California. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride I introduce to you Macario Hernandez, who is a first-year BPA member, and he's also a 10th grader. He's got strong skills in mathematics, but he does excel very well in the office technology courses.
Wow, very well.
He will be competing in word processing. Okay. From May 6th to the 10th, we will get ready to imagine, believe, become at the 2015 National BPA National Leadership Conference. That is our theme, to imagine, believe, become. And at this time, we are requesting permission to go ahead and allow the 2 students. Ana Lagunes was unable to be with us tonight. She's an 11th grader. We're asking the board's permission to be able to travel to Anaheim and be able to allow the students to have this fabulous experience.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for approval out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School Business Professionals of America chapter students to attend the National Leadership Conference in Anaheim, California.
I'll second it.
Moved by Dr. Muniz, seconded by Moved by Dr. Muniz and seconded by Mr. De Leon. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Yeah, I'd just
Sorry,
like to
Mr.
say
McShant.
Ms. Vale is a special person. In many ways, she worked with me at TSTC way back in the days in the 80s, and the children in public schools here, so she said, I want to spend more time with my kids. So she left TSTC, taught the Business Professional of America post-secondary, came to Harlingen, and I understand you have a daughter who teaches here in our school district right now. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I have a daughter that teaches second grade at Means Elementary, and my son who teaches third grade at Wilson Elementary.
Wow. So I just want to let you know that, right? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good. Thank you.
Can we have a motion on the table? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Congratulations, son.
Thank you. His parents are here as well.
Great.
Where's parents?
Would your
Oh,
parents- Oh, congratulations. We know you're extremely proud, and to be a sophomore with such a future, way to go, son. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of out-of-state trip for Harlingen High School student to attend the National Skills USA competition in Louisville, Kentucky on June 22nd through the 27th. Victor Santillan. No. Okay.
Mr. Board President Greg Powers and Dr. Cavazos and the board. Last March, we had our state competition, masonry competition in Corp Skills USA, and Juan Torres placed first.
Wow.
By placing first, he advances to the national competition, which will now be in Louisville, Kentucky, June 22nd to 27th. Juan is a junior. He also plays on the varsity soccer team.
Wow.
And the last state winner that I had was his brother.
Oh.
So you could say it's in the gene. So.
No pressure.
So anyway, we're asking for permission to travel to Louisville to compete in the National Skills USA Masonry competition.
President, I move approval of that.
No, wait a minute. We got somebody.
I would like to move approval for the
Sure. Yes.
the
I
out-of-state
yield.
trip for your student and yourself.
Thank you.
I assume you're going.
Yes.
Moved by Mrs. Young and seconded by Mr. McShane.
Yeah. I want to say Mrs. Young was principal.
She even made arrangements.
Mrs. Young, you were principal. Mr. Santillan, you just keep going and going and going.
Thank you.
And you've been 30, how many?
No. Victor and I graduated from high school together. So we're in the same class.
Well, he's holding up very well, Mr. Powers. He's holding up very well. And I know, Mrs. Young, I'm pleased you made that motion because, I've known him for all these years. Not only has he done national, but one time you won the world. What was it, international? I can't remember.
Well, no, we've competed in nationals. I've gone to, as I was telling Mr. Powers, I go to the World of Concrete in Las Vegas, and it's for adult competition masonry.
Oh.
And I'm one of the judges. And I've been going 4 years to judge. And they have masons from around the world that come compete, adults. Come from Australia, England, American. And it's the biggest convention in Las Vegas. It's called the World of Concrete.
Great.
And within it, they have the Spec Make Bricklayer 500.
Wow.
And I'm one of the judges, and it's awesome.
Wow.
I mean, we're really
And he
honored.
did the marquee at the Harlingen High School, and
Wow.
Well, out of the elementaries, my students have done the marquees for the elementary.
I was fortunate enough, Victor called me this year, and I went to the local competition.
We went to our district.
And it's the first time, and it's really amazing
Yeah.
what these kids can do. It really is. We are so lucky, Victor, to have you in our school district, and you can't retire.
Well, the first year that I went to national.
He can't retire. And
The first year that we went to national, it was in Louisville, Kentucky. And then it moved to Kansas City, and it's been in Kansas City until this year. It's
That's
going
right.
back to
That's
Louisville.
right.
So
Good sign.
That's
23
right.
years ago.
Well, you carry on a great tradition. His dad was a phenomenal individual in this same trade and craftsman, and Victor is really what we call locally the maestro, and we appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
You got a pretty neat sister, too.
Yeah, Victor, and of course the brother here. We're so proud of you. And this is an example of a connector. I mean, he's been doing this year in and year out. I mean, it's been doing for years and years. We're so proud of you, what you do, and we just want you to mentor others. to what you do is special, and we really appreciate that. And his family, of course, his sister's Gloria Casas, who is the president-elect of Texas Association of School Boards in La Feria, so go way back, and so we're just very proud of you guys.
And
Now,
we've got
what-
two people sitting, excuse me just one second, two students who might come up, and when the time comes, and it's certainly not anytime soon, maybe they'll take his place.
Now, was your brother a soccer player or? Oh, no, okay.
Somebody, Alex was in my class at 1 year, and he won state.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
And the 1 year, and Juan has been in my class since he was a freshman.
Wow.
And now he won as a junior, so
Okay.
we're looking at.
Alex, are you going to the competition too?
We didn't modify the motion.
No.
But it's Juan's day, so Juan's doing a great job, right, Juan?
Juan.
He's already trying to be overshadowed by his brother still.
That's
Yeah,
All right.
he's got a great smile. Look, see, he's smiling.
Good luck, great luck.
We've got a motion on the table. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Juan.
Bring it home and put it next to your brother's trophy, okay?
Don't put it above your brother's trophy.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Great job. Mr. President, may I make one observation, please?
Please.
And that is that as we've talked about before, we've had so many students, and they're not here now, but perhaps they'll be watching on Channel 17, where we always try to encourage the students, if there is an opportunity, to go with their adult chaperones to visit the universities and the communities and that they're attending. And just tonight, I was jotting down just off the very top of my head, and the list could go on and on. They're going to be in the neighborhood of Vanderbilt University. They're going to be in the neighborhood of the University of Louisville. They're going to be near the great Creighton University in Lincoln, Nebraska, my father's alma mater. They're going to be by the University of Chicago. They're going to be by Loyola. They're going to be by UCLA. These are all incredible, outstanding, world-class universities. And should there be an opportunity, I certainly hope that our chaperones will take them on the college tour, because we're doing so much redirection and trying to work with our college counseling and to beef up all of our programs for them to be able to attend world-class universities. And here they are on the footsteps of so many of them this spring. So we hope that that'll be an opportunity you can take advantage of. And if it does, go for it. If not, go another time.
Great point.
Okay, the next matter on the agenda is related to business services. And again, consideration approval of extension of insurance coverage for property and contents named windstorm, hail, flood, and boiler and machinery. Mr. Julio Cavazos and Mr. Tony Gracia.
Thank you, Mr. Powers, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item number 9 is consideration and approval to extend our property insurance. We did receive a renewal quote from our agent, and this is our second year of a 3-year option with an annual renewal option to extend annually. The actual renewal that we received was $870,758,000 compared to last year of $1,028,000. So it's actually a reduction of about 15% or $158,000, and we recommend approval by the board to accept the renewal quote from the agent. They also gave us some additional renewals to lower our deductible, but we felt that we're okay with the deductible that we have now.
Mr. McShann likes that excess there. He's already got an idea for it.
Thank you for volunteering that.
All right.
Well, I'll move approval of the extension of insurance coverage for property and contents named windstorm, hail, flood, and boiler and machinery as presented by Mr. Cavazos.
Moved by Mr. McShann. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Dr. Muniz. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Item next is matters relating to human services. Approval of revisions to Policy Update 101, Legal and Local, and Local Policy CCG Local and DNA Local, and on second reading. Ms. Rosalinda Vargas.
Thank you, Mr. Powers, Dr. Cavazos, board members. So we're bringing forward revisions to Policy Update 101 and to Local Policy, CCG, and DNA on second reading this evening. These policies were discussed thoroughly at our last Policy and Audit Committee meeting. Mrs. Fleurier serves as our chair for that committee and may have additional comments tonight. I'll be happy to answer any questions, and administration recommends approval.
Mr. President, I would just, if there are any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them. We have dealt with these in committee meetings as well as at the last month's board meeting. Any questions? If not, I'd like to move approval, please, of these revisions to policy update 101 legal and local policies CCG local and DNA local on second reading.
Moved by Mrs. Fleury.
Second.
Second by Mr. De Leon. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. The next item is matters relating to district operations. Our Facilities Committee report by Oscar Tapia.
Thank you, President Greg Powers, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos. Facilities Committee meeting was held April 7th. First item we discussed was the completion of the water tower logo on Tam Lane, on the water tower. We also discussed the commencement of the hurricane fence project in front of Boga Stadium, the decorative fence. And we also discussed the bond projects highlighted by the opening of the aquatic center to the second grade program, as well as pending items that still need to be completed there. And we also went over several small projects, storage rooms, canopies, restrooms, storage rooms, things like that. We also went over a change order and a payment closeout, which you'll see on the next agenda item here. And Julio Cavazos also presented on the construction financial report. Any questions?
Mr. McShann, as committee chair, do you have any comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank Mr. Tapia for his great leadership and overseeing and really directing what's going on with construction. And of course, the aquatics center continues to. We're proud of what's going on there, but Mr. Tapia is working with the architects and engineers, making sure that due diligence is done and that what's under warranty will be under warranty. I think there's some things that are still adjusting, so I appreciate the work with that. The one thing they are doing is that the fence will be, Mr. Top, you might talk a little bit about the fence that we're going to put in front of the on
77.
On 77.
Yes, sir. The decorative fence will be exactly the fence that we put right in front of the stadium.
Yeah.
With the brick columns, the cap on top with the aluminum Meristar fencing in between. So it'll match that, so it'll enclose the entire bogus compound.
Well, thank you. It's going to be very aesthetically pleasing. Thank you so very much.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. With that, and Mr. Cavazos has pretty much zeroed out the budget. He's narrowed it down,
close,
not leaving much overage at all. So not at all. So excellent. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay, the next item is the approval of final construction payments to Malik Inc. for the administration building HVAC chiller replacement. Mr. Tapia.
Yes, President Powers, members of the board. This item was presented at the Facilities Committee meeting, and it's it's required for the board to approve final payment to any construction project. This payment is in the amount of $4,837.25 to Malik Construction for the completion of the chiller replacement that we did here at this main building. Engineers reviewed it, administration reviewed it, and all items have been completed, so we recommend final payment.
I move approval of final payment.
Second motion.
Moved by Mr. McShann, seconded by Dr. Pettis. Any further comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing, I would like Dr. Cavazos to give us an update on our ribbon cutting.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, board members, and community, under matters relating to district operations, we do have our ribbon cutting ceremony planned for April 22nd, which is next Wednesday. We have an Olympic medalist that will be here. Josh Davis will be doing clinics. He's coming to us from the University of Texas, and it'll be at 9 o'clock, the ribbon cutting, and then we have a community reception, inviting the community out to see this great investment that the district has made, and that will begin at 5:30. You will be getting additional information in your board packet.
Mr. President, I just want to make a comment. It's almost 8:30, almost 2 hours into the meeting. I just did some math here. I'm not good at math, by the way, Mr. President, but we've spent 12 minutes on other matters, and everything else we've been discussing things directly related to student achievement or student success. It's just amazing. So thank you. Kudos to you, Mr. President, and Dr. Cavazos. We love these agendas.
Well, thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda is adjournment into closed session or executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082 of the Open Meetings Act for the following purposes. A, consultation with our district's attorney regarding assignment of claim and release letter. B, discussion regarding possible action on bids received at the November 4th, 2014 tax resale on property struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions. And C, consultation with the district's attorney concerning legal and procedural issues related to the suspension without pay of a certified teacher. D, discussion, termination of probationary contract teacher at the end of the 2014-2015 school year. And E, discussion recommendations regarding employment of the renewal of educators and professional contracts for probationary term and other contract employments for 2015-2016. And finally, F, discussion employment of teachers and other professional staff. We are adjourned into executive session. First item that we're going to have is, we're going to go on in order. 13A, consideration and approval of assignment of claim and release letter. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I move approval of the approval of the assignment of claim and release letter as recommended by administration in executive session.
Moved by Dr. Pettis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McShannon. Any further discussion on this item? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number B, consideration and possible action on bids received at the November 4th, 2014 tax resale on properties struck off to Cameron County for itself and other taxing jurisdictions. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion for consideration and possible action of bids received on November 4th for the tax resale of property struck off for the Cameron County itself and other taxing jurisdictions.
I second the motion.
As recommended by staff and council?
Approval of the bids received, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Approval? Okay. Moved by Mr. De Leon, seconded by Dr. Muniz. Is there any further discussion on this particular item? There being no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number C, consider and take possible action regarding suspension without pay of a certified teacher.
You need to, well, they'll make it in the motion.
Do I have a motion from anyone?
Mr. President, I move that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to place teacher Carl Avila on administrative suspension without pay for the contract term pending discharge of his probationary employment contract. I further move that the board direct the superintendent to give written notice to Mr. Avila that the board approved his suspension without pay during the contract term pending discharge of his employment based on good cause as determined by the Board of Trustees.
Second.
Moved by Mr. McShann and seconded by Mr. De Leon. Is there any further discussion on this item? There being no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. The next item on the agenda is number D, consider and take possible action regarding proposed termination of probationary contract teacher at the end of the 2014-2015 school year.
Mr. President, I move that in the board's judgment, the best interest of the district will be served by terminating the probationary contract employment of Carl Avila at the end of his current contract period. And I further move that the board authorize the superintendent on its behalf to provide the employee with timely written notice of the board's action as required by law.
Second motion.
Moved by Mrs. Fleurier and seconded by Mr. McShann. Is there any further discussion on this item? There being no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed signify. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 13E, do I hear a motion that the board renew the probationary term and non-Chapter 21 employment contracts for teachers and other professionals as recommended by administration, and that the board employ those employees under the appropriate corresponding contract for the 2015-2016 school year as discussed in executive session.
Mr. President, I move that the board renew the probationary term and non-Chapter 21 employment contracts for teachers and other professionals as recommended by administration, and that the board employ those employees under the appropriate corresponding contract for the 2015-2016 school year as discussed in executive session.
All
I
right.
second the motion.
Been moved by Mr. De Leon and seconded by Mrs. Fleury. Is there any further discussion on this agenda item? There being no further discussion, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Final agenda item, consider employment of teachers and other professional staff.
Mr. President, I recommend approval of employment of the teachers and other professional staff as recommended by administration in executive session.
It's been moved by Dr. Pettis. Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Seconded by Dr. Muniz. Any further discussion on item 13F? No further discussion, then we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned.